Right now, deep inside your brain, your basal ganglia is actively erasing the new skill you are trying to build, and the neuroscientists who first mapped this process admit they cannot stop it. You cannot feel it happening. The damage accumulates in silence, but high performers have found one rule that interrupts it, and by the end of this, you will know exactly what it is. This is not about effort, not about intelligence, not about discipline. Every time you try to wire in a new skill, a language, an instrument, a new movement pattern, your brain launches a counterprogram, not passive forgetting, active erasure. The part doing this, call it the habit vault, has one purpose: protect what already works. It treats every new skill like a threat to the existing system. The more unfamiliar the skill, the harder the vault pushes back. You have felt this. You practice something, you think you are finally getting it, and the next day it is gone. Not faded, gone. That is not normal forgetting. That is your habit vault executing its core function on schedule while you slept. And we are getting to the one rule that interrupts it. Here is what is actually happening inside. The habit vault sits deep below your thinking layer. It does not respond to language. It does not care what you want. It runs on repetition and chemical reward signals, and it has been hardening your existing skills since childhood. When you attempt something new, the vault initiates what researchers call competitive consolidation. Your old neural pathways do not simply remain in place. They fire actively to suppress the signal from the new pattern you are trying to build. It is not that the new circuits are weak. The old ones are attacking. Picture it this way. You are cutting a new trail through dense forest. Every night while you sleep, the old trails send roots directly across the new path, not randomly. Precisely where your new circuit needs to grow. And the most violent part of this process happens in a window most people treat as recovery. The researchers who first published on competitive consolidation, not theorists but scientists who watched it happen in live fMRI scans, have stated explicitly that they have no pharmacological intervention to stop it. No drug, no supplement, no clinical shortcut. They can watch the old circuits fire to block the new ones in real time. They can measure the suppression down to the millisecond. They cannot reverse it. What the published literature quietly acknowledges, buried in methodology sections, never abstracts, is that suppression peaks in the 24 hours immediately following a learning session. The window most people assume is for rest. The window when the war inside the vault is most violent, but high performers found something the published research buried. And we are almost there. Here is where this flips. And this is the part that contradicts everything you were taught. More practice makes it worse, not slightly. Measurably worse. When you drill a new skill twice in the same day, especially within a few hours of the first session, you trigger a second suppression wave. The habit vault reads that repetition as a threat signal, not progress. It doubles the counter-response. This is why the most obsessive learners plateau the fastest. This is why grinding a new skill for hours feels productive and produces almost nothing permanent. The effort is completely real. The acquisition is not. The research on this has been available for over a decade. It does not appear in self-help books because the prescription it generates is too counterintuitive to sell. And here is the second thing the vault is running against you right now. At approximately the 72-hour mark after a learning session, if the new circuit has not received what it needs, the suppression becomes semi-permanent. The old pathways do not just win the immediate battle. They absorb the biological resources the new skill was using. You do not return to zero. You start from below zero. Every subsequent attempt costs more than the one before. The rule high performers use does not fight the vault. It works with the architecture. A single session, never longer than 25 minutes, then a complete stop. No review, no light repetition, no summary notes. Something entirely unrelated next. Physical movement is ideal. A walk. Anything that activates a different system. Then sleep before the next session. What this does is deny the vault the pattern it needs to classify the new skill as a threat. A short, isolated session reads like ambient noise. The new circuit consolidates during sleep without the full counter-response engaging. The window matters. Practice ends, the clock starts, and you have roughly 6 hours before suppression peaks. Miss that window and the vault wins again. Tonight, pick one skill you have been failing to lock in. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Practice with complete attention, no background noise, no phone, nothing else. When the timer ends, stop. Not a few extra minutes. Stop immediately. Walk for 10 minutes. Then do something completely unrelated for an hour, then sleep. Do not revisit the skill until tomorrow. That is not laziness. That is using the architecture correctly. But the habit vault is not working alone. There is a second structure, older, deeper, and far more selective. That has already decided which new skills your brain will permit you to keep before you ever pick up the instrument or open the textbook. And its criteria have nothing to do with how hard you try.